The night glittered with electric energy, the kind of excitement that only Dancing with the Stars can create. But this episode carried a different kind of magic. The magic of a long-awaited moment between two brothers whose journeys have unfolded on entirely different stages. As the spotlight swept across the ballroom during Prince Night, fans inside the studio felt something shift. Cheers erupted, heads turned, and whispers raced across the audience like wildfire. Because, for the first time ever, Zac Efron had stepped foot into the DWTS ballroom, all to witness his younger brother, Dylan Efron, dancing his way into the finals. It was a moment fans had been begging to see for years, and the raw emotional payoff was nothing short of unforgettable. For so long, the public had watched the brothers' careers orbit one another. Zac, the blockbuster superstar whose rise began with High School Musical, and Dylan, the athletic adventure seeker whose passion for storytelling and adrenaline built him a career of his own. But never had we seen these worlds collide in such a heartfelt, supportive way. And on this night, the cameras captured something rare. A proud older brother letting the world know just how much this moment meant. Before the shocking appearance, the evening had begun like any other DWTS taping. The crowd was buzzing, the judges were in place, and the remaining couples were preparing to fight for every vote as the finale drew closer. Dylan Efron, paired with the always electrifying Daniella Karagach, had become one of the season's biggest surprises. Week after week, viewers watched him transform from adventure host and athlete into a polished ballroom contender. But behind that transformation was a story that hadn't yet been told. A story of someone who had spent his entire life watching his brother take the spotlight, now finally daring to claim some of that light for himself. Backstage, moments before stepping onto the dance floor, Dylan's energy was different. Those close to him said he seemed grounded, focused, and strangely emotional. They didn't know why at first, but when he walked into the ballroom and caught sight of Zac Efron sitting right there in the front row, everything clicked. The cameras panned to him slowly, the crowd reacted instantly, and the gasp that rolled through the room felt almost scripted. Except it wasn't. It was real. It was raw. And nothing could prepare anyone for the look on Dylan's face when he realized his big brother had finally shown up. As he and Daniella Karagach performed their high-stakes number, a performance inspired by the music and style of Prince, full of sharp lines, bold emotion, and fearless movement. The cheers grew louder. People kept stealing glances at Zac, who looked genuinely stunned, proud, and even emotional. This wasn't the polished Hollywood version of him. This was the big brother version. The one who had watched Dylan grow up, who had watched him push through challenges, and who was now watching him shine under the hottest lights in television. When the music ended and the judges delivered their scores, the celebration felt different. Dylan Efron wasn't just another contestant fighting his way to the finals. He was a man stepping into his own, and fans could sense it. The moment was magnified even more when the crowd erupted again as Dylan walked off the stage and straight toward Zac, who stood up to greet him with a tight, emotional hug that instantly went viral. After the taping, Dylan Efron and Daniella Karagach met with Denny Directo backstage. Their faces were glowing, not just from the performance but from the energy of the room. Dylan, still riding the high of the moment, admitted that having Zac there changed everything for him. He said it felt like something inside him settled, like the years of following in his brother's shadow had finally led to a moment where he wasn't just Zac's brother. He was Dylan, the DWTS finalist who had earned his place through sweat, discipline, and passion. Daniella Karagach, the pro dancer known for her fierce teaching style and championship-level precision, revealed that she had been keeping the secret from him. She said the producers knew Zac was coming. Some of the crew knew. Even a few dancers whispered about it backstage, but Dylan had no clue. She wanted his performance to be natural, unforced, and honest, and it absolutely was. As Denny Directo continued the interview, the emotion in the room shifted from excitement to nostalgia. Dylan began speaking about the brothers' childhood, about watching Zac Efron rehearse for auditions, chase his dreams, move away, film movies, rise to stardom, and eventually become one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. He spoke with pride, but also with a sense of longing, the kind of longing someone feels when they've spent their whole life watching someone else live their passion while trying to find their own path. And tonight proved he had found it. Fans on social media erupted instantly. Screenshots of Zac cheering filled timelines across X, Instagram, and TikTok. People wrote things like, "I've been waiting years for this," "The Efron brothers moment I didn't know I needed," and Zac supporting Dylan is the highlight of this entire season. The reaction was unanimous. This was more than a celebrity cameo. This was a full-circle moment. Insiders close to the show say that producers had been trying to get Zac Efron into the ballroom for weeks, not because they needed ratings, but because they wanted Dylan to feel the full weight of the support he had earned. They saw how hard he worked. They saw him show up to rehearsals injured, exhausted, and frustrated. But he never complained. He never backed down. He kept dancing. And that determination made his brother's appearance even more powerful. What many fans don't know is that Zac had rearranged his filming schedule just to be there. Sources say he flew in straight from a shoot, landed in Los Angeles, headed to the studio, and walked in just minutes before the show began. He didn't want media coverage. He didn't want a red carpet. He simply wanted to be there for Dylan. This is what makes the moment so special. It wasn't publicity. It wasn't a stunt. It was a brother finally showing up for another brother, not as a movie star, not as a celebrity, but as family. As the interview continued backstage, Dylan Efron talked about what the finals meant to him. He said it wasn't about winning the Mirrorball trophy. It wasn't about proving anything to the audience or the judges. It was about proving something to himself, that he could step into a space that terrified him, a world completely different from the rugged, outdoor adventures he usually thrived in, and not only survive it, but excel. And seeing Zac in the audience confirmed that he had done exactly that. Daniella Karagach also shared insight into his journey. She spoke about the moments viewers never see, the long late-night rehearsals, the physical pain, the emotional breakdowns, and the mental battles. But she said Dylan approached ballroom dance with the same courage he uses when racing bicycles down mountains or exploring the outdoors for his docu-series. He surrendered to the process, trusted her guidance, and opened himself up to vulnerability. That vulnerability, she said, is what made him a standout this season. When the topic shifted to the future, Dylan hinted that this journey has awakened something new inside him, a desire to push deeper into entertainment, storytelling, and creative exploration. And this time, instead of walking behind Zac, he's stepping beside him. Not competing, not comparing, just being himself. For Zac Efron, who has spent years navigating fame, expectations, and public pressure, seeing Dylan shine in this way felt personal. Insiders say he was emotional the entire night, cheering loudly, wiping away tears, and even standing for parts of the performance. Some fans even noticed him tapping his foot along with the choreography, a small detail that didn't go unnoticed. The ballroom crowd wasn't just excited, they were moved, because DWTS has always thrived on transformation stories, but this one felt different. It wasn't just personal growth, it was family growth, the kind that shows up when least expected and changes everything. Tonight wasn't just about dance, it wasn't even about the finals. It was about a brother stepping into the spotlight while another brother watched proudly from the audience. The way families do. When dreams finally align, and as the ballroom emptied, and as Dylan Efron and Daniella Karagach walked out hand in hand, celebrating their hard-earned spot in the finale, the world couldn't stop talking about one thing. The bond between Zac Efron and Dylan Efron, finally revealed on national television in the most unexpected and beautiful way. For years, fans had wondered what their relationship looked like off camera. Tonight provided the answer. It's real, it's strong, it's emotional, and it's exactly the kind of story that reminds viewers why these shows still matter. Because behind the glitter, behind the costumes, behind the competition, it's the human moments that stay with us. And this, without question, was one of those moments.